Hello and welcome back to Coffee Talk, episode 3, which means that, of course, we're going to be tackling the third day within the game, just as tradition. But parting from tradition, actually, this episode's going to be formatted a little differently than the prior episodes, just because the commentary that you're hearing right now is actually me in the editing process. The reason being is that the live commentary audio files that I usually use to accompany the game footage, that audio file got corrupted and it got lost. So what I'm doing, because I couldn't salvage the file, is doing just a bit of commentary in post. Episodes 4, 5, and 6, which are all up and ready, or they're ready to be uploaded, rather. They will have the live commentary just as usual, but this episode is just going to be an exception because that live commentary audio files just got, there were some extraordinary circumstances. But it's a good opportunity to give you a bit of an idea of the behind-the-scenes process. So this is actually technically a new save profile because I restarted the game. I found out that the game, it has secret endings and it has achievements that you unlock based on whether or not you serve the correct drinks to the clients, and it turns out that one of the drinks I served in the last episode was either inaccurate or the incorrect drink, or it was like one of the suboptimal drinks. Like you could have served a better drink and you could have unlocked like some achievement that would have been better off for us. So what I did was just, because we were, 2 days in, since that was the second episode, I just replayed the first and second days. Everything's exactly the same. I served the exact same drinks with the exception of that one. But that doesn't change any of the dialogue because we're not in the end game yet. So there really is no story differences that you can anticipate from profile to profile. In other words, just because this is a new profile, it's not going to be any different. Actually, from here on out, I'm going to be following a guide which I found online, which doesn't contain any spoilers about the story, but rather just tells us which is the most optimal drink for us to serve to each customer. Just because that's the best way to ensure that we get all that we can out of this game. And this game actually has a lot to offer, and I'm really interested in the story, I'm really interested in the characters, so I really want to maximize what we get out of this game, because I really want to see all there is to it, because I'm really, really loving the vibe of this game so far. But yeah, behind the scenes meta stuff aside, let's take a look at the headlines. Despite losing a member, Super Smiles' latest album sold 1 million copies, and vlogging is now part of curriculum at some private high schools. Interesting enough. And then stop workplace racial profiling, the orcish workers union demands. And I suppose that's continued the tradition of this game being somehow able to predict so much of what's going on in 2020 in real life. Even though this game was released back in 2019 and was ported to the Nintendo Switch in January of 2020, it's surprisingly accurate how much of this game is able to predict. Last episode we had the talk of a virus, and of course we have the real life COVID situation right now. And in this episode we're talking about racial profiling, and of course we're seeing that going on in the real world as we speak. So yeah, seems like the game developers, they've got a few fortune-telling tricks up their sleeves, it looks like. And here we are starting off the day with our first customer. Welcome. Yo, a cup of honey milk, please. Right away. Honey milk, I think all that's going to take is one dollop of milk as the base, and then 2 little scoops of honey as the primary and secondary ingredients. But I think it took me a little bit of time to figure this out, so I'm just going to keep talking. Yeah, if you notice, one of the sub-headlines in the last newspaper was now vlogging as part of the curriculum at some private high schools. What's interesting about that is that even though I wanted to make a YouTube channel for a very long time, I never really considered vlogging, mainly because I feel like you have to have a certain persona and a certain energy that I just feel like I don't really have in real life. I feel like vloggers have to be like always high energy and really excited and have to have all these exciting things happening in their lives. But my life is kind of normal, and that's not disparaging in any way. It's just like, I live a normal life. I feel like if I recorded daily vlogs, it wouldn't really be a lot to offer, and it certainly wouldn't be terribly entertaining for you, which is all that I'm mainly concerned about right now. Your honey milk is ready. Thank you. You're welcome. So that's to say that I don't think you should expect vlogging content on this channel anytime soon. And it seems that this client isn't terribly talkative, which I feel like is going to be your normal coffee shop customer. Like when I go into Starbucks, I'm not going to start up a conversation with the barista. There was this one instance though that I actually remember just now. I went into a Starbucks and the barista, she took my order as usual. But then she started asking me like, "Oh, hey, do you have any plans for the weekend? What are you up to this weekend?" And I thought it was just trying to make conversation, but I asked my girlfriend about it, and she was like, "She might have been flirting with you," which I don't think is the case. But if you have any insight as to whether or not I should be leaning a certain way, whether or not that was flirtatious, whether or not it's not, I'm not that great at reading signs. So if you're, a sign wizard, then let me know in the comments. Oh, it's it looks like Freya was accompanied by a cat. Hey, kitty cat, what are you looking for? Want some milk? I'm actually not. I used to be a really big cat person when. Oh, and then the cat seems to have transformed. Hi, barista. As I was saying, I'm not really a huge cat person in real life. I do like them a lot, but I think I was a huge cat person in sophomore or junior year of high school, but for most of my life, and now I'm more of a dog person, even though I'd love to have both a cat and a dog. It's been a while since the last time I saw Nekomimi transforming, and of course Neko means cat in Japanese. So it seems like she's like a Professor McGonagall situation where she can transform into a cat. Just adding to the diversity of species that we're seeing in this world. We have vampires, orcs, now Nekomimis. I guess you don't have that many Nekomimi friends? I won't say that I have. You folks usually use your feline form to commute, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. Well, commuting as a cat sounds more practical than commuting as a human. Than commuting in a bipedal form. Kind of. Anyway, before we continue, can I have my milk, please? I'm sorry. What kind of milk do you want? Just milk. No additional stuff or anything? Nah, milk and nothing else. And that order, pretty simple to fulfill. Milk as the base, milk as the primary, and milk as the secondary. It makes you wonder why we even needed the little machine there in the first place. Fresh milk for the lady with the pretty smile. It seems like we're having a bit of a flirtatious encounter with this particular customer. Thank you. Are you hitting on an underage girl? This was a thing that I remember when I played the episode live. I was like, should I even air this episode? And it's especially not a great time to be making those kinds of jokes now with all the allegations going on in the Smash community. It's just not something that I really want to get into. So I appreciate the ability for me to talk about this in post commentary, because I'm not really comfortable with those kinds of jokes. It's really good. You're welcome. What's a young girl like you doing alone this late? I'm not a young girl. I'm a grown-up who can take care of herself. You don't look like a grown-up. What? I'm 18. And I remember that when I initially saw this, I thought it was going to be one of those, anime situations where the girl who looks like an 8-year-old is actually, oh no, I'm like a dragon who's thousands of years old. I know that's one of the anime tropes for sure. People who look young, but technically they're super old. I've been earning a living since I was 13 years old, so I'm definitely not a kid anymore. I feel like that's right. You start work when you're 13. That's 5 years worth of experience by the time you're 18. And by the time you're 18, you're a legal adult. Yeah. This girl's definitely not a kid anymore. How? I'm sure you know. I don't. Wait, are you? Just say it. If this is something illegal, or if you're in any kind of danger, blink twice. Now the funny thing about this is if you look at the character model of the Nekomimi, that she's actually blinking twice right now. I don't think that's meant for us. I don't think we're supposed to interpret that as she is doing something illegal, because I think she clarifies what her occupation is in a little bit. But it's just unfortunate, that they made her character model have that little tick where she blinks twice every now and then. Really? With a cute face like mine? Exactly. Seriously, you've never seen me on TV or social media? I don't want to sound like a snob, but I don't watch mainstream media. And I sympathize with this a lot because I remember one time I was with a group of my friends, and I was like, I couldn't figure out a better way to say this, but I essentially said something like, because since I like music from the 70s and 80s, I was like, I don't really listen to our generation's music. And there's no way that you can say that and make it sound, not like you're trying to be like a hipster wannabe. Yeah, so I did get flamed by my friends for saying that, well warranted and well justified. But yeah, I sympathize with Freya. I don't really listen to current music. Part of the broke but woke movement, I see. You must be the broke part. Broke but woke movement. I'm not really sure what she was referring to there. I don't see you ordering any drinks. What, too broke for a cup of coffee? Coffee's expensive nowadays. Especially at Starbucks. Like, they don't... She's not that great for business, no. Oh, really? Sometimes I wonder, could this coffee shop survive without me? What are you waiting for, Grandma? Make your order. Is this some kind of maid cafe experiment or something? So what do you want to order? The usual. And the usual's definitely got to be that triple shot espresso. Which is coffee, coffee, coffee. Yeah, I've always wondered how Freya's high energy, but it seems that she's drinking these, triple shot espressos every day. It's no mystery that she's going to be high energy. As good as usual. I'm liking her little phone wallet thing with the little cat on it, the green cover. I used to have one of those phone wallets when I was a sophomore, but the magnetic clasp that held the phone case together broke. Yeah, they're pretty convenient. Glad you liked it. Wait a minute. You do look familiar. Are you in a pop group? Are you Rachel Florencia? The member of Super Smiles who just graduated? Super Smiles, if you remember, is actually the pop group that sold 1 million copies. It was one of the subheadings in the newspaper that we saw at the beginning of the episodes. That we saw at the beginning of this episode, excuse me. Graduated. I wonder what that means in the context of a pop group. So that they left? Graduated seems... It seems like... I don't know. Like parted ways from the pop group. I've never heard graduated used in that context, after all. That brings me back to my first question. What the hell are you doing here? Drinking milk. I'm actually taking a little closer look at her right now. I never noticed her little... Is that like an ear sticking out of... Yeah, that's an ear sticking out the top of her beret there. How can this coffee shop attract so many weird people? Well, while we do have a lot of unusual customers, this is the first time we've had a famous celebrity visit. To drink milk, no less. Yay, achievement unlocked. No, seriously, why are you here? Seems like that's a bit of a difficult question. Well, the usual young folks problems. I had a fight with my father, and so here I am. Ah, I see. But is it okay for a celebrity like you to be out alone this late? You don't need to worry about me. I can turn you into a cat. Now I'm really worried. Anyway, what happened? My dad... We got into an argument. He doesn't like my line of work. He always saw my profession as something negative, but I love what I'm doing. What about your mother? What are her thoughts on your career choice? And it seems like Freya asked another difficult question. Yep, she passed away a few years ago. I'm sorry to hear that. It's alright. Your dad know anything about the entertainment industry? He used to work in showbiz decades ago. So yeah, he does know a thing or two. And it seems like we got another customer. Jorji! Good evening, Andrew. Good evening, girls I've never met before. I just saw you yesterday. Just kidding, Freya. I'm a fan of Officer Jorji. You know, he seems like a nice guy. Anyway, Andrew. Yes, officer? I need something for my sore throat. Can you get a brother a cup of green tea with lemon and honey? So green tea is going to be the second option there. Nope, not that one. I hit normal tea. I need to hit green tea. Not really much I can do in the post commentary to change what I'm doing live, but did I really just input the wrong drink there? I wonder if... Am I gonna serve it? Yeah, I think I caught on to the fact that I didn't serve green tea. There we go. Wait, no, you gotta select green tea. There we go. Green tea. And then lemon and honey. So I wonder if this is what you all feel like when you're watching me play. Like, no, you're inputting the wrong commands. There we go, cough syrup, because he's got a sore throat. And I think, yeah, this should be the most optimal drink. Your special drink is ready. Yeah, I think I looked at the guide to see what was the best combination of drinks to serve him, you know, which ingredients should be primary and secondary. So yeah. Well, what do we have here? It's my special cough syrup. What do you call it? Cough syrup? Of course you do. Let's see whether this drink tastes as good as it smells. Damn, this is great. How's your day going? Anything out of the ordinary on your patrol? Yeah. It seems like we piqued Freya's interest. If you remember in the last episode, she was trying to get Officer Jorji to disclose details of his, of the kind of stuff he sees every day as a police officer, so she can get more inspiration for her book. Actually, I witnessed something scary on my shift today. You sure you want to hear it? Yes. The scary thing I witnessed was my salary. Yep. Seriously. Yeah, today's payday. And I checked the ATM during my shift. Such a horrible sight. Other than that and the labor union protest, everything is fine though. How can you say it's fine? We got a young celebrity lurking around by herself. Ain't that strong proof that this area is safe? Oh, you know, that's actually not a bad point, Jorji. Hey. Thank you for the drink and the place to sit. I'm going back now. Oh, thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed your time. Uh-huh. And just like that, they were gone. As silent in departure as they were in entrance. Who the hell was that? She just sat there and read. You know, the gall of some people, right, Freya? Again, seems completely normal what you'd see in a coffee shop. I'm sure that's pretty normal in a coffee shop. Yeah, Georgie's got my back on this one. I mean, you always do that when you're writing. I guess you're right. Anyway, where were we? Ah, yes. What are you doing here, young lady? It's pretty late, you know. Well, I don't have anywhere else to go, and this place looked cozy. I see. So you basically wanted to go to a bar, but you're underage, right? How did you know? You can read minds now, old man? I have a daughter around her age. It's easy to translate what they say, especially when you have to deal with them every day. I don't know why you're here, but everything's going to be okay. You can forget all of your problems while you're here. Dude, you're a cop. It's not his job to take care of someone else's daughter. He is a cop. That is exactly his job. Yeah, another good point, Freya. Relax, Freya. Don't be so uptight. Yeah. Mr. Policeman here has made me feel much safer already. You know it yourself, Freya. This place is very safe. Right, Officer Jorji? Of course, this is the safest place around here. Hey, that endorsement comes with a discount, right? Yeah, I really like Jorji, and you can tell he's a dad with all the dad jokes. Also looking forward to the, when I unlock that ability to make dad jokes myself in the future. Seems like Freya wasn't really happy with that, though. What? Don't look at me that way. You're a cop, old man. Act like one. I deal with crimes and public safety. How should I know how to handle someone else's daughter? You should know. You're a father yourself. Oh. Right. Guys, I can hear you, right? Yeah, cats have scary good hearing, so I'm really not surprised, especially because they don't seem to be that good at whispering. You don't whisper between yourselves with the person in the middle. Really? See, Freya, she has good hearing. That should help her protect herself. Anyway, Miss Rachel, what brings you here? As I told the others, I had a fight with my dad. Why are you laughing? Me and my daughter fight every day. Hey, why would you say that? Because it's true. I fought a lot with my kids. That's normal. In fact, whenever we finish arguing about something, we become closer as a family. Huh? Because when things have calmed down, I learned something about them. And they learned something about me as well. As long as we don't leave things unresolved, an argument makes things better. Yeah, Officer Jorji with the real advice here. It's always better to have the fight than hold things in, regardless of what kind of relationship you have with a person. Tonight was just one among countless others. He wasn't like this before. Before it happened. You mean before your solo career? No, before Mom passed away. What happens after each fight? Nothing. We just don't talk about it. Until another fight starts. Unresolved problems are dangerous. It ain't easy. But you gotta understand each other better. And as much as I hate to admit it, conflict is always the best way to know someone. Even your own blood. But it was never this bad when Mom was around. She's the only one who understood me. And she also understood your father. Maybe he and your mom also had arguments, but your mom acted as a mediator between the two of you. That's possible. Now that Mom's gone, I don't have anyone to act as my guardian. And your dad, he lost his best negotiator. Wait a second. You said this has happened a lot. Why did you run this time? My daughter never ran away. Wait. Maybe it's because I'm the one who always ran away. With using my job as an excuse. I can confirm that. Yeah, I run here a lot. But yeah, I hate to tell you again. You both gotta resolve your issues. Unresolved problems are dangerous. In any relationship. I can't understand what you're going through, Rachel. I also ran away when I was younger. Well, are you on good terms with your parents now? I am. When and how did it happen? To be honest, I'm not even sure myself. It just happened. Maybe I should run even farther. I have my own income. I don't need to rely on my dad. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Why? I'm an adult. No adult would ever say I'm an adult. It reminds me of that line from Game of Thrones. I can't remember it verbatim, but it's essentially, no true king ever needs to say the words, I am the king. So like, actions speak louder than words. Like, you shouldn't use your words as proof of something. You need to prove it through your actions. Just give yourself time to think, Miss Rachel, and try to understand your father's perspective. I'm sure both of you will be able to solve this, like adults. You don't need to rush to a decision. I'm not sure about that. Just take your time. But now I would recommend you just go home. It's really late. I need to go home as well. I can give you a ride. But you don't need to talk to your father right away. Just go straight to your room. At least knowing that you're safe at home will give him some peace. That will also allow him to think more clearly about everything. It's really good advice, Jorji. You're right. You really are a cop, Jorji. Of course I am. So where do you live, Miss Rachel? In the western part of Neko Town. Oh. That's quite far. You're still going to drive me home, right? Oh, man. Of course I will. Should I drive you home too, Miss Freya? No, you don't have to. I'm riding my bike. It's pouring outside and it's really dark. Are you sure? 100% sure. I would definitely take no up from that offer. Okay, we'll be off then. Thank you, Andrew and Freya. Take care on your way home. See you around, Andrew. I always love father-daughter relationships in video games. The Last of Us, now this. And there they went. Yeah. You can stay longer if you want. Nah, it's fine. I also have to call it a day. How's your writing, by the way? It's getting there. That's nice to hear. But I'm juggling a lot of work. I'm barely making my deadlines. I don't know if I can keep this up. Well, why don't you just come clean? Tell your boss about the publishing offer. Who knows? Maybe she'll understand. Yeah, right. Great job, Freya. Here, take some money. Go take a vacation and finish your novel. In your dreams. I'm not exactly employee of the month. You never know. You never know, I might end up on the chopping block. Ugh, the pressure. I'm sure about one thing though. This coffee shop has a lot of stories to tell. So yeah, I'll probably be back tomorrow. Our door is always open for you. I bet it is. Okay then, take care. Be careful on your way home. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that Freya is an employee of the month. She seems to be like the rebellious type, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in a job environment, I can understand why bosses would not really see those kinds of people favorably. And here we are, the next day. Friday, September 25th, 2020 is where we're going to start the next episode. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting the series, and the next episode will be right back to the live commentary as usual. So I'll see you then.